Before we want to break, we wanted to ask you which stock is up more than 10,000% since March of 1999 when the Dow first closed above 10,000. Can you guess? Does anybody want to take a gander?
I can guess because it's on the screen.
Don't say it.
It's on the screen.
I know,
already.
but I'm hoping maybe. Oh, now it's on the screen.
Yeah.
But
you can see that when you look up when we're live. You can see what's on the screen. If you look
well, first it was in the prompter.
Far away.
Before it was in the screen. Now it's in the screen. And the answer, of course, is Apple. While the tech giant was added to the Dow in March of 2015, it's one of the best performers among the blue chips. And joining us right now on this and more, Brian White, Drexel Hamilton's global head of technology, hardware, and software. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Where does Apple have to run in this crazy game?
You know, so Apple slightly outperformed the S&P last year. You know, I look for the company to return to growth in the December quarter, and that means iPhone will grow. That means iPhone will grow in fiscal 17 and again in fiscal 18. So I think all the fears that iPhone can't grow, again, we've talked about it before, is driven by comps, and now they're going to show it. So can Apple, you know, because Tim Cook make Apple grow again, and I think that's what we're going to see next week.
Is there any kind of Trump effect issue that we need to think about in terms of the overall economy, and then also the conversations around the Foxconn, whether they're going to start manufacturing here and what that's going to do to margins?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, a couple things. Number one, repatriation will be huge, with $216 billion of their $238 billion overseas, so they could bring that back. I am a big proponent of hiking the dividend to 3.5%, 4%.
Is that what you think they'd actually do with that?
I think they should hike it. That's what I'm saying. I think they will hike it. I just don't know the amount. The other thing is there will be a lot of pressure to bring some manufacturing back to the U.S. If I were Apple, I would bring you know, whatever they need to bring back through the repatriation, because it may be connected, and they can market iPhones made in the U.S. and charge a premium. If I were Apple, that's what I would do. I'd make an entire marketing campaign. You could actually goose your margins if you did that, and you can hire people in the
By how much?
Well, you know, maybe $100, $200, something like that.
You think people would pay $200 extra for the exact same phone that's made in the U.S.
It'd be a special edition made in America iPhone.
Doesn't that just bring up the point that, yeah, the rest of them aren't made in the USA? Would you really highlight that?
I think under the current administration, as the tone out there is changing, there's probably a market. Now, this would be
is this a big market, or is this some kind of weird super premium market?
Well, Apple will still manufacture the lion's share overseas for sure, because the supply chain's over there.
Right.
There's going to be some pressure to bring some production back to the U.S. And if I were them, to make up for that extra cost, you could actually market a special edition made in USA phone.
And what happens if they don't bring it back to the U.S.? What do you think the implication is?
Well, if there's going to be border tax, then that's something that will have an impact on them for sure. So the net of repatriation and border tax will be a net if for Apple. And if if everything, there's a border tax and everything that they manufacture overseas, it's a net negative for Apple.
Okay, so because Trump is the avatar of tail risk, do you have any tail risk in your equation about a trade war with China and what that does to Apple?
You know, our numbers for fiscal 17 and fiscal 18 are, I think, modest, but we have not put anything great, like the iPhone 10 being a super huge hit, and we have not put any huge negative impact from the Trump effect.
Could you ever see a day where Trump somehow provokes China to the point where China just says, you know, I know several 100,000 phones were supposed to leave China today, and they're not leaving. They're staying right here for now.
I don't think so, because both countries need each other a lot, right? Think about Foxconn, for example, employs 1 million people, work on Apple products in China. Right. We, as consumers, the vast majority of consumers in the U.S., enjoy lower prices. So I think when you offset those two, I think both countries are winning based on the way things are set up. And so if there is an opportunity to manufacture certain products in the U.S., Apple will probably do that. Will it be the lion's share? Absolutely not. And as we've talked about before, the Mac Pro is made in Texas. Not the MacBook Pro, but the Mac Pro is made in Texas. The volumes are very low. But it was kind of symbolic in 2014 to shift some production to the U.S.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Great to see you.
Hey there. Thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.